Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe SI Talk und bei mir ein alter Bekannter, Andrew Lee Smith von East African Metals, und die haben in den letzten Wochen ein paar wichtige Schritte Richtung Produktion gehabt und deswegen freut es mich, dass ich das Interview habe und er mich auf den neuesten Stand bringen kann. Andrew Lee, thank you to have time, and I say this in my German introduction. We make interviews now for for a long term, not very long, long term, and you have some recent progress or some substantial progress in the last few weeks. So that's groundbreaking, I must say. So for my understanding, but you know it better, and please fill us in. What was really the major news in the last few weeks?
Well, the major news was the approval of our mining permit and us moving gradually and progressively down the path towards final permitting. It was a big milestone for the company, but a big milestone for Ethiopia as well. This was the first permit that's been approved, mining permit that's been approved to a foreign investor.
Under the new law?
Under the new law.
Oh. So, but coming in, and I saw some discussions on boards in Germany, that was not the final permitting, it was the improvement that you get a mining license.
Yes. Yeah, it was the approval of our application. So we have passed all the technical exams. We have all of our environmental reports were found to be in order, and they have now approved the proposed mining operation to advance to the next stage. The intermediate step is simply a document that is signed by both the government and ourselves, acknowledging each other's roles and each other's obligations under the law with respect to the operation. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing too complicated in there. We are currently reviewing it and expect to have it back to the government. And once we have come to terms on that, we'll be issued the permit. So it's not going to be a very long process from now. So,
and it's nothing. I would say nothing can happen that you really not really get. You are 99.9
exactly
through it.
That's true. No, they would. The application has been approved. That means we will get the permit. Yeah. But we just have to make a few representations prior to doing that to the government.
And you see also the confidence in that that you will get the final mining permit. Then you make you start already the process that you then really can start with the construction of the mine.
We wanted to see the permitting process advance to a certain stage before we continued to invest in the detailed engineering. So we're investing in that now. We have a high degree of confidence that the permit will be forthcoming shortly, and we've engaged South African mining engineers to start on the detailed planning. We've also been to China and a couple of other places to discuss project financing. I will say that the market reaction, particularly from the capital markets, to our announcement of having the permit approved, generated a few offers of project financing. So we're looking at those. It's important to us because, again, we feel that Ethiopia has a tremendous growth profile in front of it, but the country risk there is still perceived as being significant. But one of the things that was very important about this permit is I think it starts to peel away that country risk as the emerging resource sector in Ethiopia starts to gain some footing.
Coming to the terms, how much money you need, or to remember that the people can remember how much money you need that you can start with the mine, and what is at the moment your favorite financing route?
Well, we'd like to. Our favorite financing route is to take on debt. Our main focus here is to try and keep our dilution under control. We think that that's very important. We have offers of debt financing, so we're looking at those very closely. Ultimately, it may be a combination of several ways, but we doubt there'll be a significant equity component. It'll be mainly debt, offtake agreements. We're looking at maybe even gold loans as ways to do this. But I think it's important that that your audience remembers that this is not a large project. The total capital cost is probably in the range of under $20 million. It is a high-grade oxide project, and it has real value in that it generates cash flow for us. But more importantly, it serves as an opportunity to move through the permitting process, establish some precedents, get the government on side so that we can then expand it. Because the 20,000 ounce a year producer that we will probably see coming out of the oxide portion is just the start of a mining operation that will ultimately see, like Bisha and other operations in the region, an evolution from a gold producer into a copper producer. The other aspect that's important to remember is that we also have another mining permit that we intend to be putting forward this fall on Adiabo, our other project, which has now reached the technical stage where it is ready for mine permitting. So we will be doing that and submitting that application, but we'll be submitting that application with having already established the precedents and the work that needs to be required. So we can just replicate that process again and hope to, in 2018, have one mining operation in production and a second one under construction, and looking to expand our resource beyond that.
Oh, okay. The first mining operation that you final permitting will coming soon is around 20,000 ounces a year.
Yes.
The second one, how large will
it'd be? Substantially larger, double, maybe triple that. We're still working through those, but the resource that we have there.
Is this also a sulfide oxide?
No, this one's a sulfide on almost pure gold. Whereas the Terra Comiti, the one that has just been permitted, is gold on top, high grade copper in the middle, and then copper gold at depth.
Okay.
So Adiabo. Matabula Datambuk trend, as it's called, is almost pure gold. Although we do see some indications of copper and probably similar geology.
So from Ethiopia, we can see or can expect near-term production from the first, for sure, first final permitting and then production. And second, maybe next year, the second construction for a second mine. Coming to Tanzania.
Yes.
What's happened in Tanzania?
We're expecting our first pour in the next few weeks. So
then I think that the Tanzania story is totally is not in the value of the company at all.
No,
it's not recognized.
No, it's not recognized at all, and it's an important component to our cash flow. It's a 30% stream that we have off the back end. We also have a royalty, a $2 million NSR that becomes part of the operation as well, and some cash payments as well. So it's not a significant, it's not an insignificant amount of cash that'll be coming in. Again, like in Ethiopia, it's starting small and growing. So the first pour that's been expected here, we're waiting here for it. It was delayed. It was supposed to be last week, but we understand that that'll be taking place soon. And once we've got that, once we have some gold production and some numbers, we think that we'll start to make that more prominent with respect to our investors' outlook on the company.
And that brings me to the share price.
Yes.
When I look at the share price, it's sometimes frustrating.
No, I agree.
From which side the selling is coming, especially with this last news, and we in Europe we have really a lot of guys has really a high expectation when they're coming up with the approval of this application, that maybe is now the breakthrough, and it wasn't.
Yes. Well, I think you're seeing a battle of short-term versus long-term investors there, and I think the people who were expecting the breakthrough and didn't see it instantaneously are looking to lighten their positions, whereas the people who are longer term investors, more value investors, are accumulating the stock here. But I have to agree, we've been kind of surprised that we haven't seen more positive response.
And don't get me wrong, but you have all this positive thing, development, permitting, this starting with the permitting, second mine, the first production from Tanzania, and the share is not moving.
No.
That's frustrating.
Yes, it is, and it's at a discount to our net asset value as well.
Do you have a lot of short position in it? Do you know it?
No, not that I'm aware of. I don't think it is a short situation. As I said, I think there was probably some individuals who were accumulating the stock for a short-term flip at 20, 22, 23 cents, and they're waiting for this announcement. They've seen the announcement come through, no major market reaction, so they're moving on to other things. Whereas, because you see large volumes and great reactions from the market, but no change in share price. So a lot of shares moving back and forth, I think, between long-term value investors and short-term speculative investors. It's an issue with the venture exchange. It's driven by speculation and speculative investors, whereas we're talking more about commercial production and potential earnings and self-capital. So we're a little bit of a hybrid that I think attracts both in different circumstances.
Maybe you're right in the middle term, that you are not an exploration story any longer, but you're not really a production story at the moment. Also,
yeah. We have a plan for that.
Okay.
And I've mentioned to you in one of our earlier interviews that we'd like to become a dividending exploration company.
Absolutely, I like the idea.
We're moving down that path, and we can't say much about it right now, but we expect to be. We see the same thing that you've just described. Maybe we're straddling a line. Maybe we're not a production company, and we're not clearly defined as one or the other.
Yeah, you're not recognized for this, that you are a production company. Maybe it's will changing when you're coming up with the first production in Tanzania, and when it will maybe changing.
Yes, so we have a plan to address that issue and become clearly defined as a company that is focused on a specific aspect of mining and exploration, with an added benefit to our shareholders.
Yeah. My last question is: after these two permitting, what you're working now on it in Ethiopia, what you're working also in Ethiopia on other projects?
Well, we have a significant exploration agenda ahead of us. On the two Ethiopian projects, there are a total of 19 identified, verified, drill-ready targets. Of those 19, 3 of them have resources on them. That's almost 1.8 million ounce gold equivalent resources on 3 of those prospects. 6 of the other prospects we have drilled with reconnaissance drilling, a couple of holes in each one of those prospects. Each one of them has returned ore grade intercepts, but we have not got those to the point of resources yet. And there are 10 other targets that we have not, that are drill ready, that we have not drilled yet. So there's a big agenda of exploration, and those are just the targets that are outcropping on surface. We currently now have geophysicists looking for signatures and anomalies that will represent mineralization below surface as well. So there's a tremendous growth opportunity ahead of us. We felt that really it was very important for us to put ourselves in a position where we could generate cash flow to protect against dilution regardless of what the market was doing. We felt it was really important to establish operations in Ethiopia from a permitting and an operational point of view, because we felt that if we could accomplish that, we would add value to all of our assets. And so we're moving down that path, and we're happy so far, and we're really encouraged by the Ethiopian government and what they've done to open the doors to foreign investment.
Yeah, thank you for the update. I think it was a great one, and for me it was also important that the people understand, not only after your Tanzania project where you get cash flow out of it, hopefully this year, starting this year, then you're coming with the final permitting on the first project, you're working on the permitting application form on the second one, but it's not all, that's not all, you have also a big exploration pipeline.
Yes.
Ja, also fassen wir es kurz zusammen. Es schaut eigentlich sensationell aus. Das Einzige, was mich frustriert dran, ist der Aktienkurs. Das habe ich ihm auch gefragt. Das Frustrierende ist eigentlich der Aktienkurs. Der steht da immer so in die Mitten der 20er. Und selbst diese sehr positive Nachricht, was also sozusagen die Bestätigung der Application gekriegt haben, die sie ja eigentlich, sage ich mal so, zu 99% haben sie die Permitting damit, hat nicht gereicht, um die Company nach oben ausbrechen zu lassen. Es gibt also einen Haufen Verkäufer drinnen. Er meint, es sind ein Haufen kurzfristige Verkäufer, die halt genau diese Application-Form erwartet haben. Natürlich war die Aktie vorher bei 2022, 2023 und natürlich raufgegangen über 30. Das macht schon einen schönen Schnitt. 50% zu verdienen ist auch nicht schlecht. Aber sie sind da jetzt so in einer Mittelzone drinnen und das ist ein Problem. Aber kommen wir jetzt zurück zu den Projekten. Das erste ist, diese Application-Form, diese Bestätigung, was sie gekriegt haben, ist sozusagen zu 99% jetzt die endgültige Permitting. Also es gibt kaum eigentlich mehr einen Grund, warum es scheitern kann, weil alle technischen, alle Umweltaspekte sind nach dem neuen Gesetz verarbeitet worden und das ist für Äthiopien auch extrem wichtig, dass jetzt die erste Mine nach diesem neuen Mining Law online kommt und dass das auch funktioniert. Das de-riskt das ganze Land und natürlich auch das Projekt. Das zweite ist, sie arbeiten an der zweiten technischen Application für das zweite Projekt und er sagt also, eigentlich ist es nächstes Jahr im Prinzip geplant, sie sind mit der ersten in Produktion und die zweite ist, kriegen sie mehr oder weniger die Application. Das heißt, man kann dann 2019 rechnen, dass dann im Prinzip 2 Sachen Produktion sind. Wofür Produktion ist zu erwarten? Ungefähr 20.000 Unzen bei dem ersten Projekt. Das soll sich aber verdoppeln, verdreifachen mit dem zweiten Application. So, und jetzt kommt der Punkt, wo das meistens übersehen wird, ist, sie haben einen Stream von einem Tansania-Projekt, das sie früher gemacht haben, das sie dann weitergegeben haben, der das jetzt entwickelt und sie haben einen 30%igen Stream und dort soll der erste Goldbar in den nächsten Wochen gegossen werden und das wäre eigentlich so dann wirklich das Kick-Off. Ich habe dann gefragt, wie soll jetzt finanziert werden. Er will natürlich Debt Financing machen, weil das die wenigste Dilution ist, aber es kann so sein, also Equity glaubt er nicht wirklich viel, das gemacht wird. Kann sein, dass man manche Leute auch wahrscheinlich positionieren müssen, so ist es meistens so, aber er könnte sich vorstellen, dass auch ein Gold Loan kommt oder Stream oder was auch immer, das kann man auch machen. Man darf aber nicht vergessen, dieses Projekt kostet nur 20 Millionen, das ist relativ wenig, das kann man relativ leicht finanzieren und nach der letzten Pressemeldung hat er auch sehr viele Angebote reingekommen, da schauen Sie jetzt ganz drunter. Also ganz genau drauf. Was auch wichtig ist, nach diesen 3 Projekten, also die 2 Äthiopien-Projekte und dieses Tansania-Projekt, haben sie noch eine große Pipeline an Exploration, damit auch zukünftig dort dementsprechend auch weiter was entwickelt werden kann. Und jetzt kommt eine ganz spannende Sache. Wie ich ihm ein bisschen auf die Nerven gegangen bin bezüglich dem Aktienpreis, hat er gesagt, sie haben das auch verstanden, dass sie da momentan so ein bisschen im Niemandsland sind und sie überlegen Wege, wie sie eine dividendenzahlende Explorationsunternehmen werden können. Ich lasse das jetzt einmal so im Raum stehen, ich kann mir da nicht wirklich vorstellen, was das sein soll, aber klingt spannend. Hoffentlich kann er es umsetzen und schauen Sie mal genau auf die Company drauf. Irgendwann ist es nämlich dann zu spät, wenn die Company dann einmal läuft, dann läuft sie und dann kommt es nicht mehr so schnell retour. Das heißt von East Africa Metals Mai 2017, Andrew Lee Smith. Tschüss und Baba.
Thank you very much, Joe.